Good morning everyone. It is Tuesday. I just finished grading the week 7, so I'll take that down and 8 will roll up to the top. And I wanted to give you a little heads up about the week 8 classwork and the week 9 classwork. As I've been foreshadowing over the last couple weeks, this is where we're going to do our first programming work, and it's fairly straightforward programming. The biggest challenge sometimes is just getting the environment set up, and what I mean by that is Visual Basic. Actually Visual Studio, and the reason we need Visual Studio is that we're going to be writing Visual Basic form programs, basically Windows programs. And what this means is for students on a Mac, can't run Visual Studio on a Mac. So what you have to do is figure out how to do week 8 and week 9 if you're on a Mac. And as I've shown before, and I actually have it running today, running VirtualBox allows you to run Windows inside of a Mac. Okay? Now you don't need Windows 10 to run this program, you just need a version of Windows, and I've given links about how to download that stuff, so hopefully you're good to go. Here's the reason I'm talking about it today, is that when you do week 8, you start doing the form for payroll, and when you do week 8, have a video, shows you exactly how to do it. I do want to tell you that the program has to work and it has to calculate payroll correctly based on the very simple calculations shown in the video for you to get full points for this. And you have to submit it the way I've requested. So you have to follow, not only do the program, but follow this instruction here. Now the reason I'm doing this and rethinking and going to give, and by the way that's what this video is about, I'm going to give you until week 9 to also get week 8 done. And here's why, is that for those of you working in the lab, or for those students that are trying to come into the lab to get the work done, the lab computers have this very interesting thing called deep freeze. So if you do week 8 and you decide to come back for the next week to do week 9, week 8 will be gone unless you save it to a local USB, which I'll show you in a minute one way you could do this. But I really kind of thought about this. I'm like, so I'm going to give you until week 9 to get both of these done. You do have to do 2 submissions. So in week 10, you basically are just taking the code and you're upgrading it to accommodate to program in the output for overtime pay. And you still have to submit it the same way. So I'm just giving you another week to get week 8 done, because if you're in the lab, these things will go away. And I just want to give students enough time to be successful with this assignment in this way. So the other thing is that students that are coming in, I'm just looking at my schedule here, and during this week, normally I am in the lab. This is my office hour is in the lab until 3:10, and then from 3:10 until 4 I'm generally there because I'm sitting in on a class. But this week is different. I leave Thursday afternoon for Google, and I'll be gone until the first of next week. So if you don't come in to the lab today, I'm going to be on part of Thursday. So I'm like, all these things in consideration, I just decided, let's just give you a little more time for all the reasons I've mentioned. Okay? So to be clear, week 8, if you submit it, great, I'll grade it. But I'm going to give you until week 9 for classwork. This is only for classwork to get that done. Now, for those of you that want to know how, if you're in the lab and you're working, how could you save and work on this later? Let me just show you. So whenever you do new projects, I said this at the beginning, is make sure you know where your projects are going to go. Now I'm just going to copy this. I'm on Windows side here. I got to make sure I use the right keystrokes. And I've already set up the payroll program, but then I'm going to go into my File Explorer, which is down here. Just minimize this and show you. Okay. So what I could do here, and I happen to know where it's at, but by the way, I've shown how to also paste that so you can see. So this directory is the beginning of all your programs that you've created, but probably in our case we'll only create one. So this directory right here, right? So I'm just going to do this. So if I was to want to take the directory with me so that I could work on it another time, what I would need to do is copy this to a USB drive. Now you could create a zip like I showed before, unzip it, but there's also things that could kind of cause that to be a pain. So if you're a student that wants to, if you're like you did week 8 in the lab and you want to do week 9 next week, you have to take it with you, or you have to do it over, meaning you have to do week 8 over. So that's what I was trying to emphasize here, right? So because week 9 depends on you having the output from week 8, which is why I'm talking about this. Okay, so I hope that's cleared up any clarification you may have needed. If you're still trying to get Windows working on your Mac, right, it's a good time. I've had a couple of you, we've been conversing about this, and hopefully you're on board with this. But again, I'm not going to let me say this. I'm not going to change due dates in Blackboard. I'm really using this message just to let you know that if you're submitting 8 in week 9, there will be no late points returned. Last thing I would like to say that is coming next Friday is our midpoint of the semester, and really what that means in our class, because we have no official midterm. So you just have to think about the 9-week reality is that if you're behind in this class, you need to get caught up. And if for some reason life continues to throw at you what it is and you don't get caught up, if you do not drop this class by Friday, you will get a grade, right? It may not be the grade you want, but you will get a grade. Now, I'm not recommending anyone drop, because in this class we have many opportunities for you to make up work, right? I've talked about those, and by the way, there is a process in here that talks about that as well. So I'm not recommending, I'm just letting you know that next Friday is that midpoint 9-week go or no go as far as staying in the class. All right, have a good rest of your week. Bye.